You have just arrived home, the door closes behind you, and in that exact moment your whole body seems to collapse inward, not because you are sad, but because you are finally free from too many voices, too many eyes, too many signals you had to absorb. No one did anything to you. No one insulted you. You were simply around people for too long. But the feeling is still like you have just forced yourself through something exhausting. If that feels deeply familiar, maybe it is time to stop thinking there is something wrong with you. Maybe you are not cold, not antisocial, and not weaker than anyone else. Maybe your brain is simply working differently from most people, and that very difference is why you often feel unlike everyone around you. The hardest part for this kind of person is that they grow up in a world that constantly praises extroversion. Schools reward the children who talk a lot. Workplaces usually push opportunities toward people who are good at non-stop interaction. Modern relationships also tend to assume that the more present you are, the faster you respond, and the better you blend into the crowd, the more normal you are. If you live long enough in that kind of environment, you begin to doubt yourself. Why do other people feel energized in crowded places while I feel drained? Why do other people see quiet as emptiness while I see it as the easiest place to breathe? Before going further, try setting down every definition society has ever placed in your head about what a well-adjusted person is supposed to look like. The first sign is that your brain is not afraid of silence. This is a very big difference. In 2014, psychologist Timothy Wilson at the University of Virginia conducted a famous experiment. Participants were asked to sit alone in an empty room for 15 minutes with no phone, no books, and nothing at all to hold on to. The only other option was a button that would give them a mild electric shock. The result was shocking. About 2/3 of the men and about 1/4 of the women willingly pressed the button. For many people, sitting quietly with their own thoughts is more uncomfortable than a little pain. But for you, it is the opposite. You sit still and your mind does not panic. It begins to settle. It begins to open. If you are also the kind of person who sees yourself most clearly in silence, subscribe to the channel and keep watching, because the further this goes, the more clearly you will understand the real value of that solitude. Psychologists call this a high level of inward awareness. When the outside world becomes quiet, your brain does not become restless and demand new stimulation. It turns inward. It moves through old memories, unanswered questions, and deeper connections that you cannot reach when everything around you is too loud. Many people assume that those who enjoy being alone must be missing something from the outside world. But often the opposite is true. They already have too much happening inside. They do not need a constant stream of new input in order to feel alive. And this difference alone is enough to make you seem strange. In the eyes of most adults, people who may never have truly sat alone with their own thoughts, without immediately wanting to fill the space. The second sign is that you do not have less social energy. You simply spend it in a deeper way. Other people think you get exhausted because you are not good at talking. But the truth is often that when you communicate, your mind is processing through many layers at once. You hear the words, but you also hear the tone. You watch facial expressions. You notice hesitation. You pay attention to how genuine or false someone's presence feels. So every conversation is not a quick passing exchange for you. It feels more like reading every line carefully. That is why you get tired, not because you are weak, but because your brain is doing more work. Hansen once pointed out that people drawn to solitude often already operate at a higher level of internal stimulation. So social input does not recharge them. It overwhelms them more easily. Think of it this way. It is not that your signal is weaker. It is just that while other people have 2 or 3 tabs open, you have 10 open at once. Of course, the system heats up faster. Of course, you need to step away sooner so you do not become completely drained. When you look at it that way, not liking large social circles is no longer a weakness. It is resource management. You know you cannot spread your energy across every shallow conversation. You need to choose. And that very selectiveness leads to the next trait, one of your strengths, but also one of the things that can tire you out the most. The third sign is that you can feel the atmosphere of a room almost instantly. Sometimes no one has even spoken to you yet, but you already know who is forcing it, who is angry, who is tired, and who has unresolved tension with someone else. Psychologist Elena Ron suggests that around 15 to 20% of the population has a higher than average ability to sense emotion. Their nervous system picks up tiny signals that most people miss. A quick glance, a fake smile, a sentence that sounds normal but carries tension underneath. For this type of person, a room feels like it is sending out many signals at once, and that is why they often need to leave in order to find themselves again. If this feels so accurate, it almost chills, you comment 8 below. It may sound like a gift, but without good boundaries, it can easily become a burden. When you have to absorb too many emotional signals from other people every day, solitude is no longer avoidance. It becomes a way to clean your system. It is where you return what never belonged to you in the first place. Many people spend years in therapy learning how to separate their own feelings from the chaos around them. You may have started learning that very early, simply because if you did not, you would drown in it. And this is also the foundation of a creative trait that outsiders rarely understand correctly. The fourth sign is that your mind creates its strongest ideas when you are alone. Researcher Gregory Feist at San Jose State, after reviewing a great deal of data on creative personalities, found a repeated pattern. People who create something truly original often prefer working alone, not because they hate other people, but because their mind needs the absence of noise to connect scattered points into something new. Nikola Tesla had his best ideas while walking alone. Kafka wrote most deeply late at night when everyone else was asleep. Examples like these show that solitude is not always a lack. Sometimes it is the environment itself. So those hours you spend alone are not meaningless. They may actually be the moments when your brain is doing its most important work. But here is a boundary that requires real honesty. Not every kind of solitude is healthy. There is one kind of being alone that helps you recover your energy, clears your mind, makes you brighter and more peaceful. And there is another kind that is simply a hiding place, so you do not have to face the risk of rejection, hurt, or being misunderstood. From the outside, these two kinds look very similar, but inside they feel completely different. If being alone makes you feel free, it may be your natural structure. If it makes you feel trapped, but you are still too afraid to step out, then it may be more of a shield than a preference. Being honest about this matters deeply because it determines whether you are caring for yourself or locking yourself away. The fifth sign is that you do not collect people, you choose them carefully. You do not need many relationships just to feel surrounded. You need a few real connections. You have probably sat through long conversations and felt that nothing real was actually being said, and in that exact moment your energy dropped fast. Not because you are arrogant, but because your system cannot tolerate long stretches of empty exchange. You would rather have one deep conversation than dozens of polite interactions that lead nowhere. And the funny part is that other people may call you picky, distant, or too quiet. But in truth, you are simply refusing to invest in what is not real. If you have ever been misunderstood in exactly that way, comment 9. When you step back and look at the whole picture, these are not just a few random, unusual habits. This is a different human structure, not fearing silence, spending social energy in depth, sensing a room quickly, creating strongly in solitude, and keeping only real connections. The most painful part is that many people with this structure grow up feeling as though something is wrong with them, when the truth may be that nothing was ever wrong at all. This may simply be your design. Thank you for watching until the end. If this video helped you understand more clearly why you have always felt out of step with most people, please like and subscribe. And if you know someone who also lives best in stillness, send this video to them.